Hello everyone and welcome to another video and happy almost end of May. We got another week too, and I hope everyone's enjoying as the weather is getting warmer and more things can happen outdoors because we've had quite a winter. Now let's get down to it. Today's article is about San Francisco, California. Whole Foods says its Civic Center location closed over safety concerns. That's not the whole story. Of course, people who dig deeper and investigate will find out the whole story. Because, representatives of Whole Foods ain't going to give you the DL. They're just going to give you the version they want you to know. When the Whole Foods market at San Francisco Civic Center suddenly announced a temporary closure on April 10 due to unspecified safety concerns, national political pundits were swift in seeing this as a telltale sign of the city's apocalyptic doomsday. San Francisco Supervisor Matt Dorsey responded by promoting a city charter amendment aimed at increasing police department staffing. Whole Foods closure, together with many other safety-related challenges we've seen recently, is Exhibit A as to why San Francisco can no longer afford not to solve our police understaffing crisis, he tweeted. So, San Francisco needs more police to staff the areas. So, like posh places like the area where the Whole Foods is can be staffed with police and prevent A, stealing, and B, like all the people who shouldn't be there moved out of the parameters of the Whole Foods so people can partially shop at that market. Moderate political groups Together SF and Grow SF, meanwhile, lamented the closure as a blow to equity and food security in the neighborhood, lambasting city officials for letting the situation go dire. Yeah, because if food stores are closing and you don't get specialty stores and posh places or any market for that matter to stay open in San Francisco, people will have to travel out of the city further up north or further down south to be able to go shopping for their goods. And that's just going to be hard for locals who live there that look to walk to their local market or to their specialty market and get the food they want. Now they'll have to commute by BART even further or hitch a ride somewhere if they don't drive. Or even if they drive, sit in traffic and go further. For his part, Governor Gavin Newsom announced Friday that he would be focusing state military and police resources, including the California National Guard and the California Highway Patrol, on a renewed war on drugs in the neighborhood. Yeah, the drug issue in San Francisco is beyond. It's not just encompassed in the Tenderloin area. Now it's branching out further past the Tenderloin into other areas of San Francisco, which is a shame. The narrative of shoplifting and drug use driving a chain out of the neighborhood was eerily similar to that of Walgreens last year. After a video of a person shoplifting at a store on Market Street went viral, Walgreens blamed unchecked lawlessness as the reason for many of its store closures in the city. Later, However, news leaked that the closures were primarily due to economic conditions born of the company's rapid store expansion. Yes, a store expansions, if you expand too much and you don't concentrate on the stores that you already have and making them profitable is an issue. But yes, also people stealing and people on drugs, mostly who do that, or people who just want to steal, it becomes an issue on that level as well. So, what's really going on with Whole Foods? Is the chain's ninth location in 46 square miles really a victim of San Francisco's liberalism? Or did the second largest corporation in the world, its parent company is Amazon, just make a poor business decision, opening a 63,737 square foot store stocked with gourmet cheese and sustainable caviar in a neighborhood where no one can afford to shop there? That's also an issue. If you open a gourmet store, or like a posh store, and sell a lot of things that only a third of the city's population can afford to shop at, of course you're going to have the potential of it shutting down because they can't feasibly stay open if they don't have enough people shopping there. And yes, probably for most of San Francisco, they probably can't afford it because they're either A, trying to make it, paying rent, and able to live there, and whatever money they have left goes to getting to work and their sustenance and taking care of all the other needs of themselves or family if they have. We spoke to 4 current Whole Food Market workers in San Francisco who painted a more complicated picture than the corporation presented. Part of it was safety, but the reason conveniently eclipsed the corporation's lack of investment and research into the area. So, as I learned in school when I was learning culinary management, that before you open a location, whatever it may be that you want to open, you always have to do your market research and see the demographics of the area and see if it will be viable for you to open up a location in that area. And most people, they do like little tests by having like a pop-up location and like do a trial run for like 1 week or 1 month, and because 1 month might be too short, because even with all the marketing you do, people might still be undecisive about going there. But if you're at least open for 1 month and you do a trial run and see if it will work out, then you set your business in stone and make it set to be there longer, to be there for the long run if it works out and you do well for the first month or 2 of the trial run. Yeah. And you also have to do your research as well within those months and do all the back work to see if it's going to be feasible. According to one person who worked at the Civic Center Whole Foods, sales weren't too great for the supposed flagship store of the region. Numbers were low compared to other San Francisco stores. The Chronicle verified their employment and granted the worker anonymity in accordance with its anonymous source policy. See, you get more information from actual people who work at a location rather than their person in charge of public relations or their corporate people, because they're gonna make face and tell you and show you only what they want you to know as the truth of the matter. It's true that this Whole Foods faced many of the city's crises head on, ranging from shoplifting to a person fatally overdosing in its restroom. But employees told us that the company almost certainly didn't do its due diligence about the neighborhood before signing the lease. If it had, they claimed, it wouldn't have made such dubious decisions, like putting the liquor section by an exit and hiring poorly trained guards who tended to escalate confrontations into violence. There you go. Now you clearly see what the issue is here. What the issue is here. Liquor section by the exit. Of course, people can just take a bottle and go out with it. Whether or not they have a system that beeps. Most grocery stores don't. But yeah, they have guards at the front of the store, at the back of the store. Mostly exits are necessary. But then again, guards will use, like they said, confrontation and violence to get the product back. But I mean, they should be trained to do more so that things don't get out of hand. And they know how to deal with it. If I had to guess, I'd say that no one from global or regional took the time to walk around the neighborhood. The former city civic center employee said, yeah, if they were take the time to look at the neighborhood and that it had an issue with shoplifting and an issue with people overdosing, then they would have realized, oh, this is not a good place to open up a posh store. Because you don't want someone overdosing in a posh store's bathroom. Apparently, someone did in this case. The issues of the neighborhood are clear to anyone who visits. It is where the neediest San Franciscans have historically gone to access social services. The pandemic only made the situation worse. If Whole Foods was relying on gentrification to supply its customer base, that clearly didn't happen. John McCormick, who partners with Tenderloin Corner stores to offer fresh groceries, said Whole Foods Market wasn't seen as a place that hired anyone from the community, either. Subsequently, people in the neighborhood tend to shop elsewhere, like the non-profit Heart of the City Farmers Market, where they can make the most of CalFresh allowances, federal women, infants and children nutrition grants, and other food vouchers. Now, that's already an issue. People with food vouchers, you don't see those type of people shopping at a Whole Foods. And even if they did, they probably wouldn't be able to buy as much as they could in other places like in other places where they can maximize and make the most of their CalFresh allowances. In order to operate a business in the Tenderloin Civic Center community, you've got to be able to open up your arms to everyone, said Steve Pulliam, Executive Director of Heart of the City. He noted that the pandemic made the situation in the area more volatile, with crimes of poverty and drug use more frequent. But his market responded by calling in nonviolent security staff and focusing on the needs of the people in the area, such as distributing nearly $2 million in free produce through its CalFresh Market Match program. The seemingly powerful narrative of corporate victim justifying a larger police presence is worrying to many of those who live and work in the area. McCormick feels that simply flooding the area with more police officers will harm food access in the neighborhood. Foot patrols and police who actually take the time to get to know people in the Tenderloin are helpful, he said. But I actually think the policing strategy Civic Censure has made things more dangerous and more hot. Pulliam agrees. Because if people see a lot more police presence in areas, you'd think they'd feel safer to go shop there, but sometimes it's always the other way around. I don't think they can arrest their way out of this situation, he said, noting that he'd prefer money go towards supporting neighborhood small businesses and the farmers market. And I agree with that. Always support the small people. And the local people, too. The ease of a large, one-stop grocery store and mid-market is a loss for some. But for Whole Foods fans, never fear. The corporation is working on a new location in the old Best Buy storefront on Geary Street and Masonic Avenue. It's a stone throw from Trader Joe's across the street and less than a mile and a half from its Haight location. If it fails, we can already predict what the narrative will be. No more Whole Foods for San Francisco. And I don't think anybody's going to really care whether Whole Foods stays or not, aside from the posh people who can afford to actually shop there. Because the lower class, middle class, who only shop there for a few things here and there, would actually care so much. Me, I used to shop there when I was able to, but then when it wasn't feasible for me anymore, I just stopped. And once in a big while, I'll go there and shop for a few things, and that would be it, you know? And it's just how it is. It's not everybody can afford or want to shop there, you know? They shop at places where they get better deals or can use coupons and maximize their money. Well, that's it for today, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.